Last weekend I went to Santa Barbara for the day, and these are all the things that we did. The first thing that we did was we went to the old mission, which I have been to before, but I really wanted to go back just because the first time I had my dog and I didn't get to go inside. And the reason I went there first is just because it can get really crowded, and I wanted to save some of the other things for when the weather got warmer throughout the day. And if you haven't been here, you don't have to pay to just go look at it. I think you can take a tour that costs money, but you can also just step inside and look around. And I was there on a Sunday, so I think a service had just happened or was about to happen. But keep in mind that there are services that are actually actively ongoing here. And then we walked around in this little garden area. There's just a bunch of random plants and flowers, and I'm pretty sure there's some olive trees. If I'm not mistaken, that's what they look like. And then after this, we went straight to the Stearns Wharf, which is just a really big pier that has a bunch of shops and restaurants, and you can walk around on it. There's people fishing. It's really cool because you don't have to pay to park if you're there for, I think it's under an hour or something, so you actually can just drive right onto the pier. You can spend a little bit of time there and then leave without having to worry about paying to park. And we were just kind of walking around. We went in a few of the shops. The view is super pretty and the water was so sparkly and blue. I really love the view, looking back at the shore from the pier. It's just super amazing. And then after that, we were getting hungry, so we decided to get some food. We went to East Beach Tacos, which is my favorite restaurant in Santa Barbara, but it's funny because it's one of the only ones I've ever been to, but we just keep going back because it's so good. This restaurant has really limited parking because it's also batting cages, so we had to park somewhere else and walk to it, but it's not really a big deal. And then after we were eating, we decided to go walk on the beach and go past the Chromatic Gate, which is this rainbow sculpture that a lot of people love to include in Instagram pictures. I think it's really cool, and I don't know, it's just something free to do in Santa Barbara, so you might as well check it out if you like social media. And the beach that we went to is the beach that is right downtown. It's parallel to the main road that you drive in on. It's really close to the pier, and I had never really spent a lot of time at this beach just because they don't allow dogs, and I always have my dog with me when I come here, but this time he stayed home. And it's a really nice beach. I remember when it was warmer out, there was a bunch of people, but the sand was so nice, and it's just a really easy place to come sit on the beach if you don't want to have too much hassle because there's parking everywhere. And then after the beach, we went to downtown. That is on State Street, and there's a bunch of stores and shops, boutiques and restaurants and bars and things like that. It's a very busy area. It's super touristy, but there's a lot of fun stuff to do if that's your type of thing that you like to do. And then we walked past the state park that I didn't get to look at, but it looked really cool. Then I got coffee and we went home. Okay, so future Andrea here. I just wanted to include a few other things. Sorry, there's people working upstairs and it's really loud, but anyway, I just wanted to include a few extra things that you can do in Santa Barbara because there's a lot of things we didn't do in this video and that I know that are common things to do in Santa Barbara, and then some fun things that I wanted to talk about that we have done before but are also not in this video. So I just wanted to include a few extra things at the end of the video in case you're planning on going to Santa Barbara soon and you're looking for fun things to do. Sorry, ignore my hair. It's really weird. I'm having a weird hair day because I'm kind of trying to grow my bangs out and they're just doing weird things. But the first thing is the zoo. There is a zoo in Santa Barbara. I think it's pretty small. I'm not really sure how expensive it is. I thought about going there last time I was there and we just didn't really have time to do that. but it has really good like ratings on Google, so I think it's like a nice little zoo. And then the Santa Barbara Botanic Garden is also something I really wanted to do last time I went, but we decided not to because it's winter, so I didn't know if there'd be a lot of stuff in bloom. And it is kind of expensive in terms of like compared to other botanical gardens that I've been to. It's $20 per person. That might not seem like a lot, but I think usually they're like 12 to 15, the ones I usually go to, so I just didn't know if it'd be worth the price in the winter time. But it looks really nice and it has good reviews on Google as well, and dogs are actually allowed, which is something that I thought was really interesting and very exciting for a dog owner like me. There's also this place called the Goleta Monarch Grove, which it's not technically in Santa Barbara, it's in a town called Goleta, I think, but it looks like a really cool place to go if you really like butterflies and like butterfly gardens and that sort of thing. It says on Google it's one of the largest sites for monarch butterflies in the United States, and I really like butterflies, so I think it'd be really fun to go there sometime. I didn't really have a chance to read that much about it, but it just looks really interesting. In Santa Barbara there's like a lot of beaches. I think there's a lot of nice beaches, but I don't know. The only ones I've been to are the one that's like right by the pier, like along the downtown area, and then Arroyo Burro Beach Park. It's really hard to say that. I'll write it below too because I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but that beach is really cool. It's just like a little beach that has, it has a big cliff along the beach, and dogs are allowed there, and it's just a really nice place to go. I'm pretty sure parking is free last time I went, and the parking lot does fill up really fast, so if you're planning to go there, I would definitely try to get there really early if it's like a super nice day or a weekend. Otherwise you'll have to wait a long time because there is usually a really long line to get in. But yeah, I highly recommend that beach. There's also a lot of hikes in Santa Barbara that you can do. I haven't done any of them, but I found these online and they look like good hikes. I'd like to do some in the future if I ever like visit Santa Barbara again, but I don't know if I will. Hopefully I do because I really love Santa Barbara. I actually decided that I think it's my second favorite city in California after San Diego. So yeah. So anyway, the hikes are Inspiration Point, which I have heard of before looking for hikes recently, but I think it's just like one of those hikes that's really high up and kind of like back away from the ocean, but you get like a really good view of everything. And it looks like it's potentially like a really long hike, so I don't know if you're thinking of doing something fast, I maybe wouldn't do this one, but it does say that dogs are allowed too, which is good. Okay, and then the other one that I wrote down is Douglas Preserve, which that one looks like it's a lot closer to the ocean. I think it's kind of just like a park right by the ocean. It's also dog friendly, and it says, I don't remember where I read it, but it says that there's flowers, like a lot of flowers blooming there sometimes, like in the spring and summer, so if that's something you like, then I would definitely consider checking out that trail. I think it's an easier, shorter hike, but I'm not really sure. There might be like different trails that have different lengths, but yeah, I think those are some other things that are definitely worth looking into if you're thinking of visiting Santa Barbara. And of course there's a bunch of like restaurants and other random stuff that I just don't know about or haven't looked into. But yeah, thanks for watching this video and I hope you liked it, and please subscribe, and it would mean so much to me if you would subscribe. So yeah.